land representation, Waziri, we've gotten some feedback on that one, so I'll skip that one. Maybe we pause there before we go to the last 2 or 3 items on roundtable. Maybe you have some remarks on those issues.
We need to provide a framework of approval so that, the rest of the approval on land issues, we don't have to send documents to KCA. But if we are going online, there should be a portal somewhere where KCA checks, is it on a runway? No, or a defined map located at the lands ministry that defines the, not just lands, but the county government of Nairobi, that defines approvals of development. So to think and comment on that. I've been within meetings where we have fiercely objected to structures being built on the runway. Why don't we task you as KCA to look at what happens in other countries insofar as approvals for land development around airports and what legal framework governs that in other countries. Then propose to us by next meeting a draft law, okay? Review the existing law, see what it says, and then work on the draft law. You can work with Kapkir, work from my office for update on that issue. Then let's not do it for Wilson, like has been ably submitted by the chair, Mr. Ngudze. Let's do it for, because it's universal, let's say what is that, how do you mark an area that is serving an airport, and how do you regulate the development in terms of that area, and what approval mechanism do you go through when you are applying for development in that land? And it's not so many people, because there are few people just wanting to erect a tall building. So it's not something to say, oh, you're going to create a long bureaucracy. That person already doing 30-story building, 20, whatever, is already going through even a longer bureaucracy to achieve the already set standards. An additional requirement by KCA cannot be said to be inhibiting business. And then we standardize that for future generations. Then the counties by law, not by wishes, by law, will be required to that approval. And I'm saying that because I was with you in the last meeting, and the one for Bomas, and we had to do back and forth in terms of agreeing how far the Bomas development can go. So let's put it in law, then the debate will not end. And then you do the calculations required by IQ, and then we proceed. We need an airstrip fund because it doesn't generate enough money to sustain itself. So we have to think about how to create a fund for the maintenance of the airstrips across the country if we are going to continue providing services as we should. Otherwise, they are all depending on Wilson and JKIA and Mombasa to some extent. So the rest of the places are supported by those facilities. I agree also on the prioritization. We work on the airports that have traffic, so that the ones that are aspirational and whatever, we need to. And then the last thing is securing the KA land. Part of the reason why we have unregulated development and dumping in some of the places across the country is because we have not secured the KA land. So I think KA also has worked towards fencing of all the properties that we have. Otherwise, you will have an adversarial situation where now people are living up to that small airstrip runway is gone. So think about the same.
On bird strike, we are victims of Dandora, but we are engaging with the county government over and above. We are doing a lot on environmental management. In fact, we are going to ensure that the grass cutting is proper, and in fact we are getting a tractor to do that around the clock. We've also beefed up the human resource capacity, especially in terms of bird scouts. We have some contractual arrangements which are not working, but we have since regularized that. Over and above that, we are also acquiring the avian radar to help us in managing the birds. and we'll also be ensuring that we manage the water bodies within the airport environment, because you will discover that bat strike is very common during wet weather when water percolates on the pavement and bats come to drink water. And we'll also be doing a lot with stakeholder management, stakeholder engagement, including even KQ, so that that thing is sorted out. So it is something we are doing around the clock. On the baggage handling system, yes, in fact, the baggage handling system we have has come of age, and we have to replace it. Our estimate is 1 billion, and we are putting the resources in place. In the meantime, we had a problem with the software, and we are at the tail end of getting that software so that we can give it the requisite support in the intervening period. But it is being earmarked for replacement in the next financial year, 2024-2025.
The airport is in partnership with KA and the military. We need to synthesize and bring this information to the military people. Secondly, is to have just runway lights in the airport at night.
We've taken your concerns on board. We need to consult, but the most important thing is first of all to put lights, because even if there was a permission to fly without lights, that so I think we need to first budget for the lights.
Apron 4 is very, very congested. What has happened, because there's a lot of congestion for passengers on this side, some of us operators have been given clearance to start boarding passengers. Now on top of it, we got VIP departures, and they're having a lot happening from there. We've been writing for the last, through the association for the last few years, this congestion at Apron 4 can all be taken away by just extending the present taxiway to bring it over to Apron 4. I could challenge our KA brothers and sisters that there's no single helipad dedicated for helicopter takeoff and landing. As you know, safety around helicopters is very critical. Takeoff and landings are very critical because of possibility of engine failures or any other emergencies. Yes, so it is my urge to you, Honorable CS, and your team, please look at this helicopter issue very closely, and we are very much available as the board and specialists in the field to assist and consult with you to resolve this issue. So, nitashukuru sana.
So we have received it from KCA. It's not viable for serious operation. So it can only be useful for a small aircraft carrying 2-3 people once in a while and choppers landing there. So it's up to now government in the long run to think of finding alternative land. There's also this issue of every county wants to feel like they have an airstrip, but we will not all of us have an airstrip. So we will have to agree to cooperate locally around that area. On the question of hangar at JKIA, let me promise this way: we expedite, because I have received complaints privately, but also now openly here. Let's expedite the master plan, okay? Because we have been given only 6 months or so. Then let's allocate people space based on the master plan. But also agree in the master plan, as we work on the policy, we only allocate people with timelines of development. Yeah, you are even here, both everywhere. You get the land. The agreement itself says you don't commence work within 6 months or 1 year. For the helicopters, I totally agree. We had been told also when we were in iPhone number 4 about the same, and I think it's for KA now to take in on that issue. Allow me to say we have onboarded all this. Let the minutes be put together, and KAO share so that for comment by the institutions, what will be left out, we add it, and then by the next meeting, we should make them actionable.
This consultation is really about also helping us to move forward. It's not about complaining. I think you will see they sense and respond in terms of offering of ideas. So I appreciate the fact that it's a consultative process, and we see the commitments. We will on our side summarize what we've agreed and follow up.
Yes, I want to assure you that when you say you wanted a larger representation as an association, I think we represent about 90%. So it's not just your operators, it's your ground handlers, it's your fuel marketers. So we're well represented here. And I don't want to take much time. Mine is just to thank you all for your time.